Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Ricky.
And welcome to the Demand Gen Daily Podcast. All right, part 5 in our intro to lifetime value versus customer acquisition cost. It is a ratio. It's called LTV to CAC ratio. And why does this matter? So we've gone over what are the elements of this thing, how you can increase it. Quick recap: LTV side, frequency of purchase, average order value, and contribution margin on the LTV side. On the CAC side, mitigation of cost. But look, application, why does it matter? And why does it matter now? And why we use this methodology consistently to think about all the activities that we do for our clients. It's really simple. This is going to sound like the most duh comment in the world, but if customer acquisition cost doubles and lifetime value doubles, there's no net change in profitability, in theory, unless you've changed some sort of other variable cost, right? If you double one and you double the other, the ratio remains the same. That's the point. And what are we seeing currently in the market? We are seeing customer acquisition costs increase because the data, because of iOS, because of a whole bunch of factors, customer acquisition cost is increasing. The problem is that most people's lifetime value is not going up in concert and at the same pace as the CAC is increasing. So their profitability is going down. And we had this conversation earlier with a client maybe a month or so ago, and they said, we want to hold off on doing e-com. And we said, okay, walk us through that. And he pulled up this data and he says, look, e-com sales are overall going down, and they're going down much faster. Like it was growth, now it's actually going down. And we said to him, you are correct, it is going down, but you're not seeing who it's going down from. A lot of what's happening is that it's going down on people that did drop shipping that didn't build a brand. And it's a lot of people that didn't build brand at all. Like they were just pumping ROAS, right? So they were just out here and it's, if my ROAS is good enough, I'm going to keep cranking it through. No expenditure on brand, no strategic thinking behind product expansion, all of these things that belong inside of lifetime value.
It's not needed if the money printer of Facebook is continuing to go. And that was only 2-3 years, and that came to an end. Facebook, being such a big force, it's still successful, but for a lot of those people who were profiting off of a 1.5 ROAS because their product wasn't necessarily that great, but the algorithm was really good, they're having a hard time.
And this is where it comes back down to, if you have, say, a 2x ROAS, 3x ROAS, that's okay, as long as you can sell that person after they come in 4 or 5 more times. That's okay. If your initial purchase is 2x ROAS, it's okay. But if they purchase 5 more times in the next 12 months, that's not an issue. But if you're getting a 2x ROAS and they're only buying one time, this is an issue, right? Or even a 3x, or in my opinion, even a 4 or 5x ROAS. And a lot of people would disagree with me, but a lot of the clients that we work with, we're getting them value on their customer, and their first time purchase is 8x ROAS, 10x ROAS. And then on top of that, they're rebuying 3 or 4 times in a year. We've been able to tune our watch to this thing, right? We watch a potential client come in, people are asking us questions, and we look at their brand. And we can tell right away where they're going to fall more or less on the ROAS scale. And before they even answer the question, it's, hey, where's your ROAS at? They're like, oh, it's at a 3. I'm like, oh yeah, totally thought this guy was going to be at a 2 to 3 max. Their programs must be running pretty decently, because you can see the emphasis they put behind brand. You can see the emphasis that they put on these things. And there's also the other stories of the people that are I used to do $250,000 in sales per month, and a year and a half ago. And now I'm at 20K a month. And they're like, what can I do? Unless you have a war chest, unless you saved your money throughout the process and you have a war chest. And I asked them, it's how much money did you save during this period? It's not much. It's you can still make a go of it. Look, drop shipping's not dead. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is, but it's just a lot harder than it used to be. And the people that went out and built brands and double, triple, quadrupled their LTV based on their first iteration of their business to the iteration of their business now, these are the people that are going to win, right? Because all we hear time and time again is customer acquisition cost is going up. Why? CPMs are going up. Conversion costs are going up. Everything's going up in cost. But if we double or tripled our lifetime value, it doesn't matter. This is why you're seeing a ton of people like push subscriptions. Like we were pushing subscriptions 2-3 years ago. We still push them now because a lot of people still haven't done them. And that's a great way to increase lifetime value on a more tactical basis. It's like one of the less strategic things to do. And it's a little bit one of those things that it's a little bit faster to do, to pull off from like the lifetime value perspective. But brand building, building these models, like this is what matters. So it's all about that LTV to CAC ratio. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in to part 5 of LTV to CAC ratio. Please remember to follow us, follow the podcast, give us a like, and we will check you out in the next one.